talk to you about what equipment's in the contractor panel, and then here, just very high level. Then we would go into maybe a classroom, and we can look at a PowerPoint, or that's all we'll be able to do. We won't be able to look at their system live.
Right. I mean, we can here on this screen, which is a little bit bigger, so we'll be able to see after I'm not quite booted up yet, but yeah, just we have a bigger screen. But
the benefit of being in a classroom is everyone can see the settings, because it's a little hard to see. I mean, it's a pretty good sized screen, but then you can take notes or do whatever you want. We have a manual. So I personally kind of lean towards that, and then typically when we come back out here, give you some hands-on, walk you through, hey, show me how you would do this. Is that how you want to do it? Or
we schedule like 1 hour here and 30 minutes. I have a conference room booked.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do that. Then we'll do our kind of dog and pony show. Do you want to talk to them about this equipment?
Sure.
All right.
Happy to. So I'll introduce myself. I'm JJ again. I'm in the technical support part of the company, so I'm the one that helps people use the equipment, make sure they have the right settings, make sure that when you turn something on in the program, it actually comes on in real life, and if not, where's the broken link and what we have to do. So, here's your seat control here. It's a touch screen. It's a really fancy thermostat, like really fancy, right? But we're going to use this to decide when to turn on different equipments inside the greenhouse, right? So right behind Karen here is a little box, a beige box that says aspirator. Right there provides most of the inputs for, it's got temperature and humidity sensor inside there. So we're pulling fresh air through there, we're reading to actual temperature, we're blocking the sun, so we're getting real accurate readings. And then that's gonna feed back over here, and we're gonna program each piece of equipment in here individually, what to do based on those values coming from there. So we're gonna use 2 different values inside here. We're gonna use a heating set point, and then we're gonna have a cooling set point that's usually 5 or 6 degrees at least away from that heating set point. And then we'll have like a dead band in between. So we'll have a heater will respond to the heating set point, and so when this aspirator, this aspirated temperature sensor sees a value that goes down too low, we're going to turn on a heater. And we're going to keep that heater on until it goes up to another value that's above. All those values are going to be referenced from that heating set point in this case, right? So let's say our heating set point is 64 degrees. We're going to have a value like 1 degree below that we're going to turn on, and 1 degree above that was where we're going to turn off. It would be real typical, like a 2 degree span. So we're going to drop down to 1 degree below 64, or like 63, and then we'll heat it up to 1 degree above, up to like 65. If we have another heater, we'll probably stage it a degree apart, right? So if there's 2 heaters, we'd do one at 63, and we'd let the other one go down to 62 before we turn it on. Now, that's for the heating equipment. All the cooling equipment here is going to be referencing that other set point, that higher value, right? So if we're heating at like 64, maybe we're going to cool at, our default value that we shifted is going to be like 70. Right? So if we get above 70, now we're going to start doing some cooling. And we put a sequence in here that makes a lot of sense, right? We're going to start off with passive cooling, right? If we get 71 degrees, 1 degree above, we're going to open our roof vents. Let all the hot air kind of chimney out, and if it can hold the temperature, great, we just stay there. But if the temperature goes up another degree, now we got to do something else. And in this case, I believe what we do is we open these louvers, and we allow fresh air that way. And we might even turn on the low fan. We'll look at the settings. So that would be the third thing we do. We get another degree warmer, we start turning on fans at that point. It still gets too hot in here. The temperature's hot outside. It's still getting warm in here. So eventually we're going to turn on this pad pump over here and wet the wall. And we're going to pull all that air across. And at that point, now we have to close the roof vents, right? So we can force all the air down here and get that maximum cooling effect. So this is doing all of that, at 1 degree apart, kind of staging, just turning on only the equipment you need to get that perfect environment. Right? And the farther you deviate away from your goals, the more aggressive we get with turning stuff on. Right? Now, when it's 100 degrees outside and you got everything running in here, you know, whatever you can get it down to, that's what it is. It's just the restrictions of your equipment. This small space, I bet you won't have too much trouble. I bet it gets nice and cool in here with that big wet wall there. So really, when we're looking at what to do in here, we're not going to ever change the sequence of that equipment. For the most part, we're just going to leave it be. You know, it's been set at the factory. We know we're going to open roof vents first, and we're going to turn on the pad pump and shade the room at last. It's always going to be that way. So, but we might want to change where that heating and cooling set point are, and so we'll go in there and we can change it whatever you want. Right? Always understanding you need a little bit of a dead band so that we don't cool it off and force the heater on, and then force the vent open again and do that all day and blow, you know, all the gas out the window. So we're always trying to find that perfect balance between getting the perfect environment in here and getting the perfect grow environment and being efficient with the resources it takes to do that. You know, running the least amount of equipment and using the least amount of energy to achieve that. So that's what's going to be happening in here. You know, based on those settings, we've got a program in here. We've got 2 different zones. So each zone is going to kind of give us an overview of what's going on the screen. We have 2 houses in here. One of them's flashing an alarm right now. It says it's 65.1 degrees and 9% humidity. So it's mad about one of those things. I'll look at that alarm here in a second.
Which one is zone 1 and 2?
Zone
In here?
I think this is zone 1 and that's zone 2.
And you can change the names.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
call them whatever you want.
North and south, or
Okay.
arid, or you know, whatever you want.
Yeah, zone 1 and zone 2 is not very descriptive.
No.
These houses in the sky, this screen's going to kind of change depending on what's going on inside and outside, right? So right now we have a sunny blue sky outside, and that's the background of our sky. We've got the sun. It's showing the weather information outside. It's showing outdoor temperature. It's showing wind speed and direction. It's showing precipitation, yes or no. It's showing RH, and it's also showing the light intensity. So we have all these sensors outside that we can use to decide what to do in here. And then we also got the house, and it shows the 2 sensors, this aspirator for zone 1 and the other aspirator for zone 2, each have temp and humidity. And then this house, or actually let's talk about the sky first, is going to change background. It's sunny right now, so it shows sunny. If it were raining, it would change to a rainy sky. Snow shows a snowy sky. And when the sun goes down at night, it'll show a starry sky at the nighttime. So it's got those 4 screens that kind of give you an idea what's going on outside at a glance. And then these houses will change color also, right? So again, we have the heating and cooling set point, and if our temperature is right in that perfect band, the house is green, perfect for growing. And then if it gets too cool in there and the heaters turn on, the house will show a red outline. That just indicates we're in heating mode. There's a heater running, and you can see that at a glance. Or if the house turns blue, that means we're above our cooling set point and we're in cooling. So it's going to change between green for ideal, down to red when we're heating, and then to blue when we're cooling. Let's see, what is this alarm? It says indoor RH reading is 9%, and it's programmed to alarm at 10%. That may or may not be a useful alarm for you guys, but that's what it's telling us right now. It's 9% humidity. I agree, it's pretty dry in here. So each of these houses, when we tap inside of it, it's going to give our set points, right? What's our heating and cooling set points? It gives a couple things like we're in a day time period. We have different time periods. Let me go through that first. Sorry. So right now it's in a daytime period. We have it set for a day period and a night period based on sunrise and sunset. So this keeps track of sunrise and sunset, and we're gonna we change the set points at night to go down a little bit, mimicking nature, and again using less energy, and then raise them up a couple degrees during the day. So this is set up where you can have as many set point periods as you want, right? So if you wanted to have a morning and an afternoon, some people do that when they're doing CO2, but typically night and days is mostly what's So you have a set of set points for day and a set of set points for night, and they could be the same or they could be different. And as it changes between day and night, if you have a bunch of difference between the temperatures, it does it slowly over 20-minute periods, so he doesn't just turn on your cooling and make it cooler at night. It's gonna just happen naturally.
You wanna let him in?
Let him in.
Don't let them see the
Come in.
course.
I didn't realize this. That's all right. How's it going?
Hey guys.
Good, good. You wanna show?
So maybe